non-believers are joined in the struggle for human rights by our brothers and sisters in the gay and lesbian movement. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Christopher Arnzen of the National Gay and Lesbian Atheists and Humanists.
Thank you. We now have a credible account that some 14% of Americans are non-religious. In other words, we are 1 in 7. That encourages and emboldens us as we announce our presence and campaign for our rights as godless Americans. We now take an invaluable cue from the movement for equal rights for gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgendered Americans, and we say to non-religious Americans, it is time to come out of the closet. Early gay activism drew encouragement from an estimate that 1 in 6 of the male population had a same-sex preference. That, of course, was pretty much a hidden or secret 1 in 6. The reality behind that estimate, whether it was too high or too low, never made any difference at all until significant numbers began pushing their way out of the closet. What difference will it make if we are 14%, if we are 1 in 7, but silent and invisible? On September 12th of last year, all of us vanished. The country had been attacked by religious fanatics, but the only way to mourn in public was to pray. Their traditional day of mourning had become a day of prayer and remembrance. The public ceremonies even sought out the participation of the most exotic religious minorities, provided they could at least pray. The affront to the non-religious was not unintentional. It was crass and mean-spirited. The homophobic are often motivated by an unacknowledged sense of gays and lesbians as a threat to their sexuality or masculinity. Similarly, I believe that in the aftermath of September 11th, the non-religious were perceived as a threat to the religiosity of many. The attacks of that day were conducted in prayer and in the expectation of an immediate reward in the afterlife. They were religiously motivated acts conducted by jihadis, which you may recognize as the Islamic equivalent of crusaders. I fail to see what we gain by this deference to religiosity. The painful thing about being in the closet is that it is indeed living a lie. It is an unspoken and completely one-sided bargain. What did we gain by nursing our wounds in private last September? And how odd it is for non-religious Americans to be in the closet. The lifestyle of non-believers, looking just at things like rates of incarceration or divorce, ought to be the envy of any religious group. I remember well the March on Washington for Gay and Lesbian Rights in 1993. There is something enormously energizing about simply stepping forth and identifying yourself and your beliefs. I hope that we have been able to experience something similar today. It is, of course, just the beginning, but it is an essential first step. As some of the smoke in the struggle for equal rights for gay and lesbian Americans has cleared, we can now identify the ranks of our persecutors as consisting principally of the religious right and their allies. Indeed, the effort to change sexual orientation is now unabashedly and exclusively religious. It's some comfort to know that you can become straight, but it will take a miracle. The last time I was invited to March on Washington was for what was billed as a successor to the 1993 march I mentioned. It was the so-called Millennium March on Washington. It was billed by its organizers, or decreed by its organizers, to be a march by the entire gay and lesbian community for faith and family. Naturally, gay and lesbian atheists and humanists respectfully declined to participate. Well, actually, it wasn't that respectful since we did participate in the organized boycott effort. I really don't know whether the organizers convinced themselves that the queer community was truly at one with the rest of America in faith and family. I am pretty sure that they didn't fool anyone else. It's time that gay and lesbian Americans, non-religious Americans, and religious Americans who support the separation of church and state recognize deference to the religious right and to meretricious public religiosity for what it is. It is appeasement, not containment, and it will not work. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. We look forward to working with you in the ongoing struggle for equal rights. Thank you very much.